Good day and welcome everyone to episode 2 of the Chronic Wellness Podcast. I'm your host, Don Antonio Corianti. Munai Sanko, that means love from the heart. I want to welcome everyone here, all of you beautiful souls. And today I'm going to guide you on a path of healing and connection, where we will explore profound power of shamanic healing and how you can use these practices to bring balance and self-healing into your life. So I want to welcome everyone in. Feel free to drop into the comments, of course. Let us know where you're watching from. I'm in Northeast Ohio, so it's always very interesting to see where other people show up from to be here with these. These are awesome. I love doing these live streams. They're lots and lots of fun. So like an overview of today's session, we will begin by understanding the basics of energy healing and its relevance in modern life. And then we'll move in how to connect with spiritual energies for personal transformation. So I myself use lots of different types of personal healing practices. As a shamanic priest, I have a very wide array and a big toolbox full of things that I use for my own healing. For those of you that don't know, just 9 weeks ago, I had open heart surgery and I'm recovering very well. And I know that has a lot to do with the tools I have, with my energy healing tools. When it comes to healing your body, the primary thing really is your mind and your energy. If you have a nice positive mindset that puts you in a frequency and vibration to receive beautiful energies, and then being able to bring in and use your intention to draw in healing energy makes big changes in your life. Now, this goes for everything. This goes for if you've had a long-term illness, you can begin to make some changes. It's if you don't believe you can make changes, you can't. Because whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. So it begins there. For most people, when it comes to self-healing, the first step is setting your mind to accept that it's possible, that anything's possible. And whatever your condition is, it doesn't mean, so people confuse healing with cure, okay? Like cure, we're looking for the cure, like this magic thing. Sometimes healing works that way. Generally, it doesn't. Generally, it's incremental, or one shift leads to the next kind of thing. People are looking for the cure when really it's healing. Healing is a small change. If you could improve, so say you have a chronic illness and you can improve 1% in a short period of time, that's healing. Okay. And that's what the whole idea is to have incremental change and allow yourself to be in that change however it shows up. Again, if you're just tuning in, feel free to comment. Let us know where you're watching from. We always like to make the connection with our community. Community connections are very, very important when it comes to energy work, and we're going to do some energy work today on ourselves. Okay, in a later broadcast, I'll do some shamanic teachings about how to use your energy to help others to heal. But today it's about you. All of us need healing, no matter who you are. No matter what's going on. You can have optimal physical health, but you'll still have things in the emotional range that will need healing. No one is without need of healing. No one is fully healed. And anyone that tells you that, they're probably full of shit. So I'd watch out for that. So all of us in these practices too are just good, beautiful practices to do on a normal basis, just to tune you up. Just tune your energy field, tune your body. I recommend simple energy practices like we're going to show here as a daily ritual or ceremony to yourself, because you're worth it. You need to bring that love into you. You bring it into you by showing up for yourself. And this is where ceremony and ritual is very important for human beings. And, the ancients always knew that. The shamans of old knew that. We know that. So I'm here to help people connect with those things and make some changes in their life. It's very powerful. So I guess what we'll begin next is understanding energy healing in modern life. Okay, so in modern times, energy healing's been around for a long time. It was the primary way that people helped each other heal in earlier times. This doesn't mean that you don't sometimes need surgical interventions and things. I know I did recently. I needed a surgical intervention, but what I recognized really quickly while I was in the hospital is that the hospital and the doctors, even though they did great with the surgery, they know nothing about healing. When I was in the hospital, I recognized that like there was nothing happening that was conducive to my healing, except for my own self. And then that made me become aware of, wow, if I didn't have these tools, how would I make it through these things? So that's why I'm kind of here sharing this. Energy healing is the practice of working with your subtle, unseen energies to restore balance and harmony in the body. So that's a really key word, is harmony, because illness is directly related to disharmony. Disharmonized energy results in symptoms, okay? Especially most of the symptoms we have. You know, trauma and things like that. You break your arm, you don't want to try to use energy healing to make your arm set the bone. You want to go get your bone set, maybe get a cast, then do your energy healing to aid in the healing process. Okay, so a lot of people, I'm just trying to, eliminate any confusion. Like, I'm not a holistic practitioner that tells you like Western medicine's total trash and garbage. No, that's not true. It's just misaligned, particularly when it comes to chronic illness and things like that. It's just not designed to help people heal. But sometimes it's necessary for medication. I'm not anti-medication. Often it's just not used properly, or it shouldn't be given to a patient as this is the key, because the medication's never going to heal you. It's just going to block some symptoms, which may be able to give you an edge to be able to make some mindset and lifestyle changes to begin to actually heal yourself. So, watch out for people that kind of, really demonize Western medicine, because when it comes to surgery and trauma, it's amazing. But what we need to do is learn more about ourselves and more about our energy and spirit to help ourselves heal. Okay. And so, energy healing has been part of the ancient traditions, as I said, for thousands of years, and remains highly relevant today. So even at the Cleveland Clinic, we got this huge $23 billion company, and they're one of the best hospitals in the world. And it's just very small. They offer some holistic practices, even including Reiki there. And I think that's great, but I think it should become more mainstream. It should be offered, like no one offered that to me. And unless you know that before you get there or someone tells you about it, you're not going to even know it's available to you. So it's still really fringe. But these kind of things can take, our hospital system from one space into the next. In modern life, we're bombarded by stress. That's a normal thing for us. Like, we're basically taught to be stressed. Me and Mary were just talking last night. It's almost like if you're not stressed, if you're not worried, if you're not afraid about something, it's almost like you're strange. Because I don't really have any fear or worry about too much of anything. And even when that happens, the first question I usually have for myself is, why is it so serious? Why am I taking this so serious? Because we take everything so serious, but you're never getting out alive. Okay, you're not staying in this body forever. And taking it too serious really just creates fear and energetically creates blockages. Okay. So this is kind of the role of the shamanic healing in a fast-paced world, where we're bombarded by stress and disconnection and imbalance, because we're disconnected. We're busy. We're trying to survive and, compete in a way. And then also this creates imbalance. We're very imbalanced just as beings. Shamanic healing reconnects us with the natural rhythms of life and cosmic flow. And now that's a major thing, because shamanism really is simple. Like, it's more or less a connection with nature or the unseen. There's subtle energy all around us, and that's open. And there's different types of shamans and stuff like that. But the type of shaman I am is I like to connect with the living energy that's all around. Everything for me is alive and part of God's creation. And I think it's something that we all need to pay attention to. Because just taking some time just to feel that, just to feel the awe of life, just to look around and really take in, like, wow, I'm alive, and look at all these things that are around, these amazing, amazing things. So, The whole idea is to become reconnected to the natural rhythms. So everything has a natural flow and ebb and flow. And when we take time to slow ourselves down from that disconnected, overthinking, worrisome state, what this helps us do is it helps us to begin to ground and align with our true selves. And that's a big deal. That's a really big deal because most of us are not grounded and most of us are not aligned. Okay. I spent most of my entire life not grounded and not aligned with my true self. And your true self is who you really want to be. Most of us don't even know the answer to that. And that in itself is a beautiful question. That in itself can be a beautiful type of shamanic practice, is just to sit down, breathe slow, be quiet, and ask yourself, who do I want to be? And take some time to picture that person, because that's something we just don't do. We're too busy doing all the time instead of being. But the thing is you're not a human doing, you're a human being. So what are some key benefits of energy healing? Number one, I would say, is reduces stress and anxiety. Okay, that's a big, big deal because in our current common world, most people are loaded with stress and anxiety, and most people don't even know that, because it's been normalized. It's normal to be stressed. I have to be ahead of the game, and it's almost like we will reward ourselves. And part of that stress and anxiety is also addictive. So that's another quality of it. Reducing stress and anxiety is a big key benefit of energy healing. Now, there's lots of different kinds of energy healing. I'm just going to be showing you some simple shamanic practices. There's many more. There's many types of energy healing all around. And my advice is always, wherever your life takes you, whatever calls to you, try it. Okay? Connect to your living energy. Okay, another key benefit is enhances emotional resilience. I noticed that big time about 6 years ago, when I first started using these types of practices. And what I noticed is it really improved my emotional resilience, my ability to bounce back from the stuff that bothers me. Like you could have something happen and I could be mad for days, maybe weeks. And now if it's minutes, that's long now. When now I can almost recognize through practice, I can recognize I don't need to be upset about these things or sad or, allowing yourself to process your emotions as well. Understanding that however you feel in the moment is okay. It's watching yourself not to react and instead just observe and allow yourself to honor the feelings that show up. Let feelings come and let feelings go. They should be like visitors coming and going. Another thing is it can promote physical healing by addressing the root causes of illness. And we'll get into that as we go here. Because most of the time, the root cause of illness is never addressed, okay? When we go to a doctor, what we do is we present symptoms, okay? The doctor never helps you get to the root cause, which almost always is something having to do with your mind, your feelings, or your spirit. There's something happening in one of those kinds of parts of the areas of your being that's really causing your symptoms. But instead, kind of how current medicine works is we go in, we say, I have this symptom, and, your practitioner is going to prescribe you at least one pharmaceutical to kind of offset or combat these symptoms. But that doesn't find the root cause. Why? So say, for instance, I'm hypertensive. It means high blood pressure. So the thing is, and what I'm working with my doctors right now to find out is, why am I hypertensive? Because the first reaction from most doctors is oh, well, maybe it's genetic. Well, what is it about my genetics? What is it about my physiology? What makes my blood pressure high? It's not, and then they'll just well, it's your diet or this or that, but I have all those things under control. So this brings in a new question. And so that's how we can help advocate for ourselves and find out the root causes of illness as well. But when we do certain exercises and do certain practices, just taking your awareness into your body starts to make you more aware of your inner body, because we're so out here all the time that we don't even really know how we feel most of the time. We just think and react to the thoughts. And another really powerful thing of benefits of energy healing is how it increases your clarity and intuition. An intuitive sense, all humans have it. Some people it's more developed, some people it's less developed. All humans have the ability to expand it and improve it. And how do you do that? By using it. Your intuitive sense, what is intuition? Intuition is your ability to know things without really knowing them. It's a feeling. It's more of a feeling. And that feeling comes through that inner body awareness, when you can really feel and really understand and kind of separate yourself from your thinking. Part of what we're going to do today, it's also very much like a meditative kind of practice, because when you're doing this, you're actually shifting your consciousness, just like you do in meditation. When you sit down, you meditate, you drop into your body, maybe you become aware of your breath. You're just allowing yourself to connect into the present moment. What's happening? You're shifting consciousness. You're going from one vibrational frequency of being into another vibrational frequency of being. And that's the exact same thing that happens with energy healing. Okay, so right now the floor is open. If you're just joining us, welcome. And if you haven't checked in yet, be sure to drop a comment. We always want to hear from you. Hi, Alona. I'm glad you're here. Hi, Lori. Happy Wednesday to you and everyone else. I'm glad you're all here. I leave the floor open if anybody has anything they'd like to question or discuss about what I've talked about so far. Because what we're going to do next is we're going to start to move into the actual practice itself. Now that I've kind of overviewed it and talked about it, I'm ready to move into the practice. But before we do that, I'm going to leave the floor open and I'm going to blow my nose and get myself ready. And I recommend you do that too, because we're going to do a little bit of breathing during the session, which is just a wonderful thing to do. So I'm going to blow my nose. Please excuse me. The horn worked. Very good. And now we're going to try our lights. Tachi, Grand Rising from Montana. Look at that, Montana. That's fantastic. I think Alona, you're from, Alana's from Canada, I believe, somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. So we already got some people. And so what this does, this creates an energetic web. Hi, Jennifer. Welcome. This creates like an energetic web. So the people that watch, even if you're not watching right now, and the people that watch later, this all connects energetically. So all of us benefit from this. And not just us right here. We're a cross section of the collective consciousness. So by us being here and doing this little bit of work, this self-healing, this also pours out from us, out through our web of energy, and actually creates healing for people all around the world. So always remember, when you're doing your work, it's not just about you. You want to make sure you take care of you, because by you taking care of you, it overflows from you and helps everyone else. That's why I always try to get people into that awareness that when you do your work, you do your inner work, you do your healing work, it's not just about you, it's about everyone. All right, so now we're going to move on to the next part of this podcast. And what the next part is talking about how to connect your spiritual energies for self-healing. So the first thing is talking about connection, getting yourself ready and preparing your energy field. And there's many ways I do this, but I'm going to do it in a really simple way. I'm going to start by putting my right hand over my heart and my left hand over my tummy. And what I do is I close my eyes, I go inside my body, and I first feel my left hand. It's on my tummy, it's right over my navel, and I can feel the pressure of my hand, and I'm giving it all my attention. And I begin to expand my breath a little, but not too big. And then I bring my awareness up to the hand on my heart, and I'm connecting through my heart. And what I'm doing is I'm using my mind's eye and disciplined imagination, and I'm connecting the energy from my belly, my left hand, and I'm letting that be a line that moves up and connects to the energy of my heart, to my right hand. And as that's happening, I'm bringing my awareness up behind my eyes, inside my head, going into my head, and I'm picturing my third eye, my pineal gland. And I'm bringing the energy of my head, my brain, my third eye down to my heart. So my gut energy is coming up to my heart. My head energy is coming down to my heart. All the energy centered in my heart. And I just take a few breaths here, some deep conscious breathing. And this is more like a 3-second breath in and a 5-second breath out, like a sigh. And a 3-second breath in and about 5 out. Again. Two more. Last one. And relax. What we're going to do now is we're going to open up our energy field, okay? So all of us have an aura and an energy field. We're going to bring our attention to our hands, praying hands in front of the heart. And what we're going to do is we're going to project the energy of our heart into our hands. And we're going to move that energy out into our hands. And as it moves into our hands, we're going to take in a big breath and bring the energy up overhead. And we're going to turn our hands out and open our energy field. Okay, and I do this 3 times usually. I bring my hands back. They come together in my lap. I turn them up. I take a moment and I send all that energy from my heart, our beautiful hearts, our loving energy, and I send that into my hands. And as I take in a deep breath, I bring it over my head. Turning the hands out, opening nice and wide. I often picture a peacock spreading its fan. It's also a cue that's been taught to me by my teacher, Don Zeno. Bringing the hands back together, back to your heart. This is the one that's really powerful, your third one. Focus your energy of your heart into your hands. My hands are tingling and alive, and I take in that deep breath. Energy overhead and open your energy field. And what you want to do here is just take a moment. I like to leave my hands open. I let them sit in my lap, and I just sit here and relax for a minute, and I just notice. I just give an awareness to how I feel. I pay attention to my own bubble, your energy field, your aura. It's spread open now around you. And if you want to, you can use your mind's eye and your disciplined imagination and create a mental picture. What does your bubble look like? How does it feel? Does it have a sound, a texture, a vibration? You're just noticing your field. And what's happening now is you're becoming a bridge between the physical and spiritual realms. And then what we're going to do is we're going to ground ourselves for a moment. You're going to bring your attention down to everything from your belly button down. And you're going to use your intention as if you could root into the earth. You're going to root yourself into the earth like a tree or a plant. And you're just grounding your energy. And now what you can do is you can begin to call in your spiritual allies. And this is different for everybody. There's no right or wrong way to do this. So say if you're a Christian, maybe you'll call in Jesus and some angels and God. If you're a Wiccan, you may call in some of your spiritual guidance and nature beings and things like that. If you're a shaman, you may call in the mountains and the sky and the animals and whatever kind of, feels holy, sacred, and beautiful to you. That's what matters. Okay. And this is another thing that makes this exercise so beautiful. This helps you come in touch with what you feel is sacred and beautiful and holy. And the thing is that's all parts of our belief system. And your belief system is just as important as everyone else's belief system because like our fingerprints, they're all unique. We have unique belief systems and they are to be honored. Whatever you believe is holy and divine, no one has the right to tell you it isn't. For the first time, I'm having an energy of an animal come in. It's like a porcupine. I haven't seen that one before. I wonder who that belongs to. If it's your porcupine, call that porcupine to you. And I call in all spirits and energies and frequencies of divine consciousness and healing into the space to be with us here together, to channel energy of healing, to channel the energy of creation, to channel the energy of love. And you're just taking a moment to connect with your highest power, whatever that is. There's no wrong answer. It's about you. This is about you. And as you call on their presence, you just want to open yourself to the faith and the trust that they're with you, offering wisdom and support. And you can ask for that. Great spirits, we ask for wisdom and support. Very good. Now we're going to move into a different portion of this before we move into healing. The next is scanning. This is you using your intention to find energy blockages in your body, because that's what energy healing is about. It's about removing blocks. So what you begin with is you begin with body scanning. You start at the top of your head, your scalp. And as I bring my attention to the top of my scalp, I can feel my scalp, the top of my head, and I begin to phase down. I begin to scan down my body. It's like a warm light scanning down my body from my head, moving down towards my toes. And this light highlights any areas of tension or imbalance. And you just observe without judgment. Don't judge it. Let that energy move behind your eyes and your cheeks and your ears. That warm light. And what you're doing is just becoming aware of anything that feels heavy, stuck, or stagnant. If you have heavy thoughts, this may show up as heaviness in your head or around your ears or your face. And all you're doing is just taking note. You're not doing anything. You're just allowing yourself to become aware. This is how you begin to know yourself. This is that familiarity. And as you move down your face and your neck and your shoulders, and you're just taking note. You're taking inventory of anything that feels heavy, stuck, stagnant, sick. Anything that needs healing, anything that you notice. And let it move on down through your tummy and your back, your hips and your pelvis, and down your arms and legs and your feet and hands. And now that you've highlighted your body, you've become aware of your entire body as a unit, now you'll begin to channel healing energy. What I like to do often is I like to channel the energy through my breath. I invite, I invoke, I bring here the living energy of light and of healing, and I breathe it in through my nose. Let it fill up my lungs, and I let out with a soft sigh. And I breathe in healing light, and let it go. And breathe in healing light, and let go. And I relax for a moment. And now you're bringing your attention into your body to the place that feels the most heavy, stuck, stagnant, broken, hurt. Anything that feels anxious or fearful. And as you bring your attention there, it may begin to bring forward emotion. And what I want you to know is that is okay. You want whatever you feel to come forward. Don't try to hold it in. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to laugh, laugh. Whatever begins to flow, let it happen. You're now going to use your intention as if your breath you could breathe into wherever it is in your body that needs the most light, that needs the most healing. And begin to breathe in. I'm going to bring my attention into my heart. I just recently had surgery on my aorta, and I'm going to bring healing and energy into my aorta. I'm picturing it in my heart. I'm picturing the anatomy of my vascular system in my heart. You can do something similar wherever you need it. Maybe it's emotions in your belly. Maybe it's tension in your neck. Wherever it is, you're going to breathe into it. Big, strong breath. And hold your breath. Let all that energy saturate in. And then you're going to intentionally blow out. You're letting go of the heaviness. You're letting go of what no longer serves you or what no longer belongs. And you breathe in again and fill it up with light. And hold it and blow it away. I blow away my illness, my sickness, my fear, and I breathe in healing light. Fresh energy. I blow away the stale energy. Fresh energy. Saturate. It's like a cleaning. You're cleaning it away. And you just spend some time here. A few more breaths. One more nice big breath. Hold it and blow it away. Relax, loosen up your body, let everything get loose. And just give attention to wherever you are breathing into and notice how much lighter it feels. Notice that tingling sensation. That's energy. You are living energy. You may notice that your hands are tingling, your forehead, the top of your head. This is all okay. And now you want to move to anywhere else. We'll do a few different places. Where else do you feel stagnance or pain or illness or stiffness or blockage inside of you? Wherever that is, you bring your attention there and you breathe into it as big as you can. Hold. Blow it away. Repeat. Picturing that fresh energy, fresh light coming in and dark, shadowy, sappy energy leaving. Fresh in, old and stale out. Fresh in, old and stale out. Last breath, breathe in and hold. Hold. And blow it away. And relax, loosen your body. Allow yourself to notice, to feel the new energy moving inside of you, inviting it to be with you. And we'll do one more round. Where else do you need healing? Where else do you need light? If you're crying and this feels heavy, it's okay. Allow that to purge from you. It's very normal as you do this work for your emotional self to begin to release. And wherever you need healing, bringing all of your attention there and breathing into it. Holding and blowing away. I blow away all my stress and tension and fill up with joy and ease and laughter. And release all my stress and seriousness and fear. Breathe in light. Release your shadow. Breathe in softness. Release your rigidity. Breathe in calm. Release stress. Last one. Breathe in nice and big. Hold it. Squeeze your entire body. You're locking all of this new energy in. I start from my belly button and I squeeze, lock that down. I lock everything else. Ears, eyes, everything. Squeeze, release. Whoosh. Let all the tension and pressure go. Spending just a few moments here, feeling how you feel, noticing. Calm, soft, relaxed, refreshed, alive, light. And then when your process feels good, it feels complete to you, you offer gratitude to the spirits and energies. So whatever that is to you, I offer my loving gratitude to Brother Master Yeshua. I offer my loving gratitude. Thank you to all the angels and guides and spirits that have shown up in this place. Thank you to all of our ancestors and ancestral energies. Thank you. Give your thanks however it feels good to you, to your highest powers, to your highest power, to the universal energy. Put your hands back on your tummy and your heart. And give gratitude to yourself. Thank you. Thanking yourself for showing up, for being here, for connecting. You have 30 trillion cells that make up the beautiful universe that is you. You are a living miracle, creation itself. Taking in a nice deep breath. That one feels good. Long sigh out. It's so relaxing. 2 more. Big, strong breath. Long sigh out. And once more. Good. You're going to open your arms like wings. And what we're doing is we're gathering up all of the energy that we called into the space and that's with us. And we're going to take in a big breath and bring it overhead. Overhead. And as we exhale, we're going to bring it down through our head and into our body. We're closing up our energy. Very good. And I usually do this 3 times as well. Bringing it in and wow, that feels nice. And once more. Very good. So very nice. Allowing yourself now to come back into the present moment. There's no hurry. You take your time. Sometimes I just sit there with my eyes closed and then I meditate for a little while. I just be quiet. That's all meditation really requires you to do, is just sit still and be quiet for a little bit. I want to thank you all so much for being here and sharing in this beautiful ceremony that we did today, and being with us here for episode 2 of Shamanic Healing Practices and Self-Healing. It's been wonderful. I feel so softened and so just good right now. What I want to do now is I'd like to hear from you. Have you ever experienced energy healing before or self-healing? And what questions do you have about connecting with spiritual energies for self-healing? Or let's open up for a discussion if one is available. I would love to hear it. As that happens, I'm just going to close my sacred space a bit. I like to use a bell. This is how I give thanks to the spirits that are around me. Anaiki kuyaiki arapichai sankalai. Arapichai sankalai. Anaiki kuyaiki. Anaiki kuyaiki yesha. Anaiki. Anaiki fratakangalo. Anaiki. Anaiki inti taita. Anaiki kuyaiki arapichai sankalai. Wonderful. 1 Million Buddhas is here. Good afternoon, y'all. Hi. I made it. Was only a few minutes late, but made it. Was upset I didn't make a Monday. That's okay. They're recorded. You can always go back. They're all labeled. They'll be labeled now because I'm kind of semi-scripting. Like I kind of have a script for the episode, but not really. You know, I don't really fall like here, like I have something like, let's discuss final thoughts. And so when it comes to final thoughts, what I would say is shamanic healing is not just a practice. It's kind of a ceremony. It's a way of being. It's a frequency of consciousness. It's a way of life. It's a journey of reconnecting with your divine essence in the flow of the universe. Okay. What you have to remember is when it comes to healing, whether it's for you or you're facilitating healing for another, it starts with intention and the willingness to explore your inner world. Because at the deepest level, when I heal, when I work with healing with someone, what I'm doing is I'm channeling a frequency and I'm trying to display it and give the person I'm bringing healing to a chance or the ability to be able to mimic or copy the frequency. That's really how healing works. You can't like do it for someone. Like Jesus couldn't do it for someone. It required faith. And that faith was the ability they believed that they could take in that frequency, right? Or that, that healer could do something for you kind of thing. But it's all about exploring that inner world. If this resonates with you, please like, share, follow, make a donation if you can. Just visit our page. And, even if it's a couple dollars, it goes a long way. I do need financial help. Let's create a ripple of healing connection in the world. Also, feel free to message me if you'd like to dive deeper into one-on-one sessions or group work. I love to do group work. If you have a small group you'd like to work with, I do lots of different shamanic healing teaching and practices and breath work and mindset and meditation and sound healing, all kinds of amazing things. Wonderful. Nardu. Hi, Nardu. I'm so glad to see you back. Thank you, brother. I was just on a little break. I was in a space of rebirth. I'm currently in a form of rebirth. I'm being reborn. It's actually a really wonderful thing. Most people would think that what's happened or what I've experienced would be something terrible. And, it's been painful and challenging. But also it's through those things that I become a better priest, a better human, a better man, better at helping other people, because that's always like my main drive, my main focus is to be of service to others. And that's why I do things like this, showing up to do these, take my time to plan these things and put them together and sit and work with you all, because I'm spreading love. And in our tradition, that's really like the only, in the Andean tradition, the Andean religion, that's really like the only commandment per se is something called Aini. And Aini is a lot like the golden rule, like do unto others. It's similar to that, but it's called divine reciprocity. And what it is you give with all your heart. I want to give the best I can and be as helpful as I can and give everything I can without any expectation of how it should return. Because it's been proven to me. It's been proven to me over and over, because I haven't been able to do any like big work to bring in big income for us and things like that. For the last couple months, I'm still a little disabled on my right side. I'm working on it. It's on purpose. It's just part of the journey in which I'm on. But we've been surviving essentially off the loving kindness of others. And I want to send that out too. I want to send out a big thank you to everyone who have made donations. Even if it's been a couple dollars, it's made a big difference. And there's been many donations that have been very generous. And I'm so grateful and so thankful, because without your help, I wouldn't have been able to survive and make it here and be here with you. So thank you all so much. I appreciate that. Drew Perry, sending you positive thoughts right now, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. Energy goes a long way. It has to do with your intention. Intentions go a long way. You can't fool the universe. The universe is always responding to your vibration. However you're thinking, however you're acting, all of those things are very important. Let's see what this question is. Drew Perry asks, what are your feelings on consciousness and purpose? On consciousness and purpose. I'm trying to understand the question. So consciousness, everything is consciousness. Everything is a living energy of consciousness. Purpose. People are often looking for purpose when the primary purpose is just to live, allowing yourself to experience your journey as it unfolds. We're often in our own way, trying to control outcomes and, trying to make things happen. And what that does really is blocks us from what's meant to happen. All right, so that's what consciousness is. A conscious person, a conscious mind will not be in any sort of resistance to reality. Like however it shows up is how it's meant to show up. It doesn't mean you might not be sad or angry when something happens, but if your consciousness is sharp, you just won't react. You'll notice that these feelings have arisen, you'll accept them, you'll process them and get rid of them. So purpose, that's just a big thing. I feel like a lot of people are searching for purpose when who is the one that's searching for purpose? That's the ego mind, right? The conscious mind doesn't have it doesn't need to find purpose. It doesn't need an identity. It has no need for identity. The purpose just unfolds for itself, and that primary purpose, at the deepest level is just to observe. We're observers in this short human experience, and you have a lot of choices, lots of free will within there to decide how you react to whatever shows up. We really have no, control over outcomes, and that's what usually brings people into a lot of fear and anxiety, is trying to control outcomes. And there just is no control. That's just anxiety. What we do have control over is our reactions to what does arise. I hope that's answered some of your question, Drew. Thank you for the question. I love, deep, thoughtful kinds of questions like that. Oh, Sacred Beholder. Hi, brother. It's so wild. The more you let go of understanding, the more you can experience understanding. Yeah, isn't that something? Like me and Mary always say, like this whole place is a mind F. That's what we say. We say this place it's a mind game. That's what it is. The whole thing. It's designed in such a way that it's meant to be. But see, that's how I understand it here. It's like a really powerful level of school. Like we're not like in the cosmic picture, like infants or like preschoolers. We're like graduate school. Like being a human's really hard. We've been a lot of other things before we got here. Some of us remember. I would say that being a human, from my memories of other lifetimes and being other things, is the most difficult, basically because you're cosmic consciousness and you're shoved into this little helpless body that has lots of limitations, and you're burdened in a way or challenged in a way to remember who you are. How amazing, right? And as you remember who you are, that's why you're saying, when you let go of understanding, the more you can experience understanding. You're right. Like, what is the need to understand? What makes you think that you're ever going to understand the entire cosmic outline from this point of view, from this limited human point of view? This is very, 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 temporary. You're only going to be human for a little bit, but you're eternal, right? The whole thing is to bring the attention here and be present. I don't need to understand everything anymore. Instead, I need to be present and observe what's going on, being here in my world, being in my reality. That's really cool, though. Thanks, Jasper. Don't you have dreams of building healing centers someday? Yeah, I think I did. I think more what it'll probably be as my consciousness continues to expand, and I'm also a seer, so I can see potential outcomes, or what some people may call the prophetic vision, or a ability to see the future. However, future doesn't exist. There's just potential outcomes in a quantum field. And what I'm beginning to recognize is things like healing centers and churches and things like that are going to kind of fall to the wayside, and what we'll need more is like community centers, because more and more people will awaken. It's not like there's going to be a bunch of people that need healing that are on gurneys. It won't be like it's been for a long time, and how it mostly is right now. So what I see is there will be a bigger need for communities, to build conscious communities of people that work together and create food and products and things and really just work together, kind of like how the Inca did. The Inca all worked together as a unit. Imagine if we, look what we've created already and we're like disorganized. We're not working together. Humans aren't working together as a singular conscious unit. So I like to sit and I'll use my mind to sit and make imaginative ideas about what does that look like? Because it's through your vision, it's through our vision that we can create, right? So that's kind of how it looks for me. Like, so I'm not sure. I don't know if healing centers, that's how it was when it first started, but I don't get trapped in. I always tell people, don't get trapped that it has to be this one way. You're evolving. So this also means that your vision may evolve too, and that's totally okay. So what I see more is more like maybe community centers and things like that, places where people can come together. It's similar to a church, except for it's not being driven by religion or book or, square ideas. So, yeah, sort of. I guess you could call that a healing center, but unity centers. Community, that's the word that keeps coming in. It keeps coming in. Community, which leads to unity and oneness. When your event happened, was there anything that stood out? Oh, of course. There's lots of things. It was profound. I had a profound spiritual experiences through my event. I haven't talked about them too much publicly, but I do plan on it. It might just end up in my book. I've already written a book. I just haven't published it. That one's about breath healing. But I'm probably going to write another book about my experiences through open heart surgery, aortic stent grafting. It's been intense. It's not over yet. It's still happening. I'm still having really profound spiritual experiences since then. Like I mentioned, it's very much like a rebirth. So what stood out the most is my rebirth, is knowing that I've died from one type of being or reality and I've been resurrected into another. Cool question. I like it. Thank you, Nardu. Hi, Jen Bailey. I definitely see that too. Yeah, I know, right? Doesn't that make sense? Like as our consciousness evolves, we'll just find ways to come together, I used to think it was going to be like healing centers and stuff. That's just not what I see now. I have a friend of mine who's a pastor at a church that recently kind of the church failed, or that's not the word I want to use. It ended. Like the congregation got smaller and smaller and smaller because he was preaching or being a pastor from a more conscious mind state. So it kind of just changed things. But it's not that we need to build more churches, because churches have actually been the downfall of man for quite some time. And it's not that religion shouldn't be taught, it just hasn't been properly taught. That's really what's been going on. It's been taught as this is it and it can be no other way. And that in itself has nothing to do with what the ascended masters, including, for Christianity, it's modeled after Jesus Christ, but Jesus Christ was not a Christian. And Jesus is not the only Christ. All of us are Christs. And that's what needs to be brought forward, is the understanding. The biggest issue with our westernized religion is that God is somewhere outside of you and you should be afraid and ashamed and all these things. And the thing is God is nowhere outside of you. You're not separate from it. It's not that you are God, but God is you, right? It's not that I am Jesus, but Jesus is me, right? It's connection. It's all one thing, not separate. You're not greater or less than any other thing. Isn't that great? That's the way that consciousness is beginning to develop, a unified consciousness. I still see that you and Mary having a large area doing this, and I still see large land. Good. I'm looking forward to that. I've actually been my next plan of action is I'm going to go visit Maui. That's something that's come to me before the event, and now during the event there's been lots of things that unfolded, and that's somewhere I need to go. Like soon as I'm healed up enough, I got to find a way to get there. It may be difficult because, as I was mentioning before, there's some severe monetary strain because I haven't been able to work in almost 3 months. And, that's pretty difficult. I mean, I've been doing some coaching, but that's been small. There ain't been much happening there. Like I said, most of what's been keeping us afloat is donations from our community. The loving kindness of others. And that shows me I need, because I've been for years doing everything I can to push into the community and create a spiritual connection with people for very little when it comes to monetary, comeback. But it showed itself to me when we started asking for help when I was in the hospital, and there was just like a beautiful outpouring of generosity and love. And what that showed me, gave me a lot of faith in Aini, that word Aini that I talk about a lot, that divine reciprocity. It's almost like a retreat area. Yeah, right. I think, again, like retreats are going to fall to the wayside because those are for seekers. As our consciousness grows, we stop seeking because we become aware that we're unified with the one, and what we want to do is be unified together. So it's like villages, cities, countries. It'll start small and grow bigger, right? First it has to start. It's not that it's like-minded people. We want to all be of different mind, but like vibration. That's the world we want to get away from. We want to get away from seeking like-minded people. I'm not interested in being around a bunch of people that think like me. I'm interested in being around people who think like themselves and believe what they believe and, are centered in love. Let's see. Unity Center. Yeah, I mean, we kind of have those now, but they're disguised as sort of like churches. True Perry, yes, that did. Thank you. Answer them. Thank you, sir. My pleasure. I struggle letting go of my social anxiety in this consciousness the most. I think it affects me from finding out what I want to do with my life. That's not abnormal, okay? That's part of being human, okay? Because the social anxiety is like part of the subconscious program. The subconscious program is directly related to the belief system. The cool part is belief systems are malleable. It just takes a lot of work to be able to get in there. And this is where things like coaching really are very helpful. And there's some really good coaches out there. I love to coach and help. If that sounds like something you would like to venture into, please reach out. I do personal sessions with people. It's easy. It's via Zoom. And those can be really life-changing for you. I can help you to begin to take some of those things apart. And that's all it takes. Sometimes just a little push or a little nudge or a little wisdom can be life-changing. But I can sense that you're doing great. You're doing great, Drew. Keep going. It'll happen. Yeah, it's happening now. Another way to say it is, it's already happened, because all time is now. I 100% resonate with that, dude. Community is so important in general. Thank you for your thoughts. My pleasure. Yeah, I think it's the most important thing is bringing together communities of conscious people. It's from there that we can create a new dream, because on the deepest level, we're beginning to understand that we're quantum. We're beginning to understand that we're always manifesting our reality, and our strength is in our numbers. When enough of us come together and are vibrating in a like frequency, that's when we have the ability to create new worlds. Hello, Mr. Kloss. Good to see you today. I've thought about you a few times, Stefan. I hope we can hang out sometime soon. I'd love to see you. Hi, my friend. Hi, Kelly Roach. It's always a pleasure when you're here. Thank you, Jen Bailey. Lulu. Okay. No, this is a little off subject. Was at Sam's and they have an ice bathtub for sale. Well, I don't know if it's off subject, I went to the ice bath the cold plunge facility last night where Mary works, Elemental Cold Plunge here in Westlake. I can't cold plunge yet, but I started doing cold showers. I'm up to 1 minute full cold. It's really cold this time of year, about 44 degrees or so. I got to tell you, it's terrifying because of my condition. There's fear. There's something that wasn't there before. But it kind of reminds me of how it started, because when I first started, I was on a bunch of blood pressure medications and things, and I thought for sure I was going to die. But I didn't. If anything, it stretched it out, and I had no issues for a long, long time. So here I am. I'm back in cold. I'll be doing cold immersions again in no time. But but isn't that great? You go to Sam's, now they have an ice bathtub for sale. Like, look, it's becoming more and more mainstream. It is. More people are finding out all the time about how this cold water can change your life and how it's not that hard once you start doing it. Everybody's so, because the mind, oh my God, it's too cold and I can't do it. And it's so terrifying and everything for most people. And I've only seen, I've coached hundreds and hundreds of people in cold immersion tubs, and I've only seen like maybe 2 people not be able to handle it and have to jump out. But like one of those 2 people ended up coming back 10 minutes later and acing it. So the vast majority of people that are afraid and think that they can't do cold immersion, they can. It's not that hard. Anybody can handle 30 seconds of being cold. It's just cold water. You're not going to die. You're just going to be cold. And if you can control your breath, what happens is you begin to control your mind. And now you're teaching your mind how to be disciplined. That's what most human beings are missing, is discipline. The ability to show up and face stuff that sucks for a later or a secondary outcome. Right? That's what discipline is. Like most people are like, I don't want to go to the gym today. I'll go tomorrow. Instead of saying, I don't really want to go, but I'm going to go show up. I'm just going to go be there. That happens to me, right? There's times, even when it comes to cold showers, every time my ego mind's like, you don't want to do that. You don't need to do that today. And I just do it. I start off and I just go for it, and afterwards I feel good. I've overcome something. There's days I don't want to go exercise. I just go, okay, I'm going to go anyways. I'm going to go to either, if it's here, if I'm going to exercise here or at the gym, I go to the place of exercise and I show up. And, I don't have to always have a great workout. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I go and I didn't think I wanted to do it at all, and I have a great workout because I showed up. And that's what it comes down to, is showing up for yourself. And I think that's the real beauty on a very deep level of cold water immersions. Awesome, Lulu. Thank you. What did I miss? Today we talked about, this is episode 2, this shamanic healing practices for self-healing. So I went into talking about self-healing, what is energy healing, key benefits, and then we did a practice. So you can rewatch that. You'll love it. Natasha, hi. How are you today? Nathaniel, just tuning in. Glad to be here. Hi, brother. Jennifer Tronsky says, hey, yes, Anthony, beautiful. Blessings. Thank you so much. Thank you. Good to see you, friend. Absolutely love to see you and Mary when you are all well. Let's explore more jiu-jitsu. Yeah, I got to be careful, they say. No, so happy you're back on the road and recover on your rebirth. Yeah, I definitely want to get back into training some jiu-jitsu. I don't think I can go live at any time that's in my life now. There'll be no contact. I can't get like thudded really hard or anything. Like I can't get a full reset. But I want to still journey into, the technology. I can't wait to see it. I'm good enough to come. I'm well enough to go places and see people now. I'm a little crippled with my right side. Like I can't open jars and stuff. I can't squeeze toothpaste onto my toothbrush. I can't clip my own nails with my right hand. I have some issues going on over there, but I think they'll get better. I'm going to have some therapy and stuff coming soon, but it's been 9 weeks, so we'll see. Yeah, I laughed and said, oh, hell, Anthony can call me from Sam's now. Ha, 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 ha. What does your coaching program look like? It's different for everyone. There's no like one size fits all when it comes to it. So it's very unique to the individual. I'm an intuitive. So when it comes to working with me, I work from an intuitive place. So I don't have like a scripted kind of protocol in which I work with people. We sit down, we talk, and we start to figure out where it is that you need to make changes, okay? I think that's kind of what fails most people, is scripted kinds of protocols and working with non-intuitive people. There's lots of coaches that are out there and they are not intuitives and they don't understand how to feel and sense other people's energies, awarenesses, but I'm a shaman, so it's a little bit different. So I basically work from a shamanic point of view. We'll work from a spiritual, energetic, and mind kind of way. Another way is, like I would say, is science and quantum physics. That all means the same thing to me. So I'm a quantum type of being, and that's how I usually work with other people. So it's, we're going to definitely do some breathing. That's the primary thing. Learning how to breathe properly is the first step in learning how to control your mind. So that will be a thing. You'll have lots of homework with that when you work with me. But yeah, I don't have like a box in which, coaching or the unfolding of people's consciousness happens. Each person's different. It's like a fingerprint. Like I mentioned before, we all have different belief systems. I don't know exactly how your belief system works, so I can't give you the work to do until I understand that and can tap into your whole frequency. I will catch the replay. Cool. Stop saying you can't. You are learning, sending you love. You can't. Well, I'm telling you what my current disabilities are. Right now, I can't say I can cut my toenails. Do you see? So that wouldn't make sense. I understand what you're saying, but you have to take it in context, right? You got to look at context of language. I was just explaining what my current situation is. I'm alive and I'm reborn, and I think that's the most important thing. I don't see nothing wrong with a little cold shower, he says. All right, everybody, I want to thank you all so much for being here. Munai Sanko, love from the heart. I hope you all have a beautiful Wednesday. I'll be back on Friday. We'll have another episode coming up, episode 3. Maybe I'll tell you what episode 3 is. I don't remember. I got to look. I have a bunch set up of semi-scripted live streams, which are lots of fun. I've really enjoyed doing them. Number 3 is going to be mindset and spiritual growth, how to cultivate a positive growth-oriented mindset, overcoming fear and embracing transformation. So that's going to be really fun, really cool. You want to check that out. That'll be Friday. Slow, smooth, and steady. No live rolls. We will adapt and modify, my friend. I'm sure we will. Of course, in due time, no rush. Your health is most important. I plan on evolving and growing as well. Our energies are strong and future is exciting. Totally. Thanks so much for being here, Stefan. Thank you. I want to thank everybody for being here today. And if you were here and were able to connect with today's healing energy, take that with you out into the world and spread it. Spread that sunshine. Spread that love. Spread that positivity. Smile at someone today. Do something loving for someone today. It's beautiful to be alive, and don't forget to breathe. I love you all. Yes, I will be at Yellow Brick on Friday. I'm happy to see you there too. That's going to be great. Thank you, Lori. All right, everybody, I'm going to jump up out of here. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll be back Friday. Bye-bye. Hey, play it. Here it is.